Hello and welcome to the Washington Middle School Library. I'm your librarian, Miss Chelsea Turner. Let's go inside and take a look around. So let's start with a very popular area, the display shelves. This is where we put all of our most checked in and out books. We call that our most circulated books. If you're looking for a Diver Wimpy Kid book or Captain Underpants or an I Survived book, they will always be here. We can't hardly keep those on the shelf. This is our graphic novel section. It looks really empty. This is our most popular section, so it stays kind of empty. Chess and checkers, if you want to play chess and you don't know how, in that tin bucket you'll find some directions. These are our library rules. You can see I've gone a little bit emoji crazy. Alright, so now let's talk about our fiction shelves and how we organize them. If you look around the library, we have two fiction shelves, one here and the one we were just looking at. And if you look at the back, our taller shelves are nonfiction, so you can see the shorter shelves are fiction. And they are labeled on the edges of the shelves. And fiction section is in genres, so this is our series section. Once they're in their genres, they're then alphabetized. This top shelf, there are various authors, but then we start alphabetical. So the series is in order, and then in alphabetical order by author. The rest of our genres are levelized, so we look at the sports section here and our humor section. We start with the yellow dots, and then the blue dots, and then the green dots. Within those levels, they are then categorized by author in alphabetical order. So we've got yellow dots by author, more yellow dots by author, then we move down to the blue dots by author, and down to the next shelf blue, and then the last one would be green. So it's pretty easy to find what you're looking for. The stickers on the spine always match the sign above that tell you where that book lives on the shelf. Our realistic fiction and historical fiction sections are very large, so an entire bookcase is designated to one reading level, usually on those. But remember, once they're on their reading level, they are then alphabetized by author's last name, and you can look at that by finding their call number sticker on the spine. So realistic fiction, historical fiction, then we move over to fantasy. Same thing, they each have a shelf of yellow, and then the second bookcase is blue, and then the last shelf there is green. Then we have our science fiction area, same thing, and our horror section, scary horror. We have independent reading assignments here at Washington, so if you're ever wondering as a 6th grader what's on your tic-tac-toe, or a 5th grader what's on your reading cube, those are posted there. This is kind of a special area, green cart. We have our 39 clues. You can see they're well loved, and some other display books there. This is a really neat area. If you loved a book, I'd love for you to come take a sticky note and slap it on this wall with a book review for your classmates. Comfy seats for you to sit and read. Here's some pictures of our different genres and their labels. Don't forget to visit the library website. It's a great resource for you. This is our check in and out, but we'll look at that later in a different video. A quick look at our makerspace. Let's move over into these carts that are kind of in the middle of the room. Our blue cart is nonfiction, just where we kind of put our most circulated nonfiction. And then we have this green cart that is our easy readers cart. So you'll find some easier chapter books like Magic Tree House, Boxcar Kids, and then you'll have some picture books on the other side. Now let's go into our nonfiction. So nonfiction are the taller shelves that wrap around the back. On the edge, you'll find what Dewey Decimal categories are on this shelf, and you can look at that blue poster on top of the shelf to see all the different categories. Dewey Decimal is a system used that puts our nonfiction books in order based on number, and those numbers stand for different categories. So each section starts with a picture, and then it has a header that matches that picture. These are we've already seen the 100s, 200s, 300s. We're moving on over. Let's take a closer look here at the 500s, the science. So all those pictures there are different categories you'll find in the 500s section. And if you look here, you'll see, look at all those different colored dots. So these books are in number, order, and then author. So they go number and then letter from the author's last name. And you can see here that we've got yellow, blue, green dot books, red dot books. So make sure you're looking for that AR level and you're watching really closely. So we wrap all the way around and then we stop right here, take a break, and these are your teacher's favorite books right on the edges of the TV here on these bookcases. You can grab any book up here. You don't even have to know that teacher to grab one of the books that they recommend. It's kind of cool to see your current teacher and last year's teacher. Then we continue with our 900s, which is the last section in our Dewey Decimal System. We've pulled out our biographies and put them at the very end because they are a big part of our independent reading assignments here. So we have these last 4 bookcases are full of biographies, and then our very last section of our library is the bilingual section. Here you'll find books in other languages. Right now we just have Spanish. So if you're a Spanish speaking student and you feel more comfortable reading in Spanish, those books are for you. Thank you guys for taking a tour with me. If you have any questions, you know where to find me.